today on accessing Indiana 211 and the resources that we have available for schools across the state of Indiana and Hoosiers across the state of Indiana as well. We want to cover today the mission of Indiana 211 and who we serve and what resources are available in our statewide database, understanding what to expect when calling Indiana 211, learning how Indiana 211 community engagement tools can benefit you and your work with students and families that you serve across the state of Indiana. Indiana 211's mission is to improve the quality of life for Hoosiers by connecting people to health and human service resources through a highly skilled navigators, continuous community collaboration, and a robust community database and technological innovations. Indiana 211 is a free service that connects Hoosiers with help and answers from thousands of health and human service agencies and resources right in their local communities, quickly, easily, and confidentially. There are no eligibility requirements, no income standards, nor any other rules. Anyone can contact Indiana 211. Indiana 211 serves all the residents of Indiana, so we're one contact center. The average 211 call is 10 minutes long. And in 2024, Indiana 211 received 170,000 calls and provided over 560,000 referrals. The average of 14,200 calls each month, serving 9,500 individual callers each month, with the greatest needs being housing, utility assistance, and food. Again, we are a statewide database with all 92 counties in the state of Indiana being served. Thousands of services represented in the database and maintained and updated by our resource curation team. Our database resources are made up of the top 10 referrals in 2024, which were housing, utility assistance, food and meals, individual, family, and community support, legal, consumer, and public safety concerns, healthcare, income support and assistance, transportation, clothing, personal household needs, and information services. We do have other resources available in our database as well, such as mental health and substance use resources, employment, disaster services, domestic violence, sexual assault and trafficking, libraries, job readiness, childcare, and much more. How do you access Indiana 211? There are three ways to access Indiana 211. You can dial 211, or if you're on a border of Indiana and you may get into another state, you can contact our 866-211-9966 number. You can text your zip code to 898-211. You can also go to our website and find resources available there, and we'll cover more of the tools we have available for you to look up resources. But just visiting in211.org will also connect you to resources that we have available. We have an online guided search at in211.org, and you will notice in the right-hand corner, there is a select language button, so you can filter our resources out by language in any language that you would like to translate. You just select a service category below, and so you can go through food, meals, shelter and housing, financial, hotlines. We have a lot of different categories that are created for you to find those resources. But if you'd also like to use the orange button, it's an advanced search that does allow you to look up resources that you're trying to find that maybe are not in a pre-created category. So you click on the guided search, select a service, and you go down here and select food, and then there's a drop down of options. So if you wanted to find, for instance, food pantries, you would just select food pantries, fresh food, and you would then be able to search those resources. You would see the search results come up where you can enter a service name, an agency name, or a keyword up at the top left-hand corner, or you can filter resources by zip code and find them by what is closest to you, just putting in the zip code and clicking the search button. You can also email or text a link So if you have a family you're working with or somebody that you want to send the resource to, you can email or text a link to those resources by clicking that button, or you can save to a list and print the resource off as well. There is the advanced search, which allows you to search your zip code, what type of services maybe you're trying to look for. So if you just are trying to find food, maybe you would type in the word food, and then you would have a drop down of different options available for food, such as pet food, mobile markets, food pantries, food vouchers. Or you can search what is the key name of an organization that you're looking for to see if an organization does belong in the Indiana 211 database. Once you click the button on the guided search page here that says save to list, you will get a list just like this, where you can see the resource and be able to print it out and hand it to a student or a family member that you're trying to get that resource connected to. We also have a resource app at in211.org. You go to our homepage, it's on the bottom of the screen. It says print a community resource list. You click that, and it does give you a concise list with agency contact information. We do have broad service categories where the guided search is giving you a detailed list, contact and service details with specific service categories. So the community resource list does give you the option to kind of see a county in a little more detail. So when you click on the print a community resource list option, you get every county listed in the state of Indiana. And so you just click the county. You can select one or you can select multiple counties, but you just select one county, for instance, here, Adams County, and click the search button in the right-hand corner. And a list of resources will populate. You can search our resource app or the print a community resource list option as a zip code. So you can search by zip code, or you can filter by searching for a specific resource that maybe you're looking for. And you can also filter by category. So if you want to only look for basic needs resources, you can uncheck all and then select basic needs so that you can look for very specific resources that maybe a family or a student has. Once you find resources that you want to add to the list, you just easily select the little checkbox over here. You can select all the resources that you would like, and you just click the print and view list option. It will bring up a printable list for you that has the categories already separated out. So you can see here that it does have the heading of consumer services, environment, public health and safety, mental health and substance use disorder resources. And it does separate those resources out to give you what the service is, who the agency is, the address, the phone number, and when they're open, as well as a website link. Who should call 211? Any Hoosier that's looking for services can call 211. That includes persons who need services, medical professionals, advocates, school counselors and social workers, school personnel, neighbors and friends, a family member. The caller does not need to be in crisis to call 211. What to expect when you call 211? You're going to get with a community navigator, and they are the connectors to our community resources. We have 57 community navigators who receive 3 weeks of training. They have access to connect with interpreters for over 240 languages. So if you do have students or families that you're trying to connect to resources and maybe having difficulty due to a language barrier, we do have interpreters available, again, in over 240 languages that can work through those resources with the families in their language. We do ask a series of social determinants of health questions to understand where a person is at the time of the call. And we do much more than a phone call. We do advocate for our callers with warm transfers. We do follow up with callers as well. And we do call sometimes agencies with the caller on the phone to work through that resource. We do have different lines of service that are available at different times. You'll notice we have our main line, our 211 call community navigator information and referral line. It's open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. And then we do have a child care line as well that does CCDF referrals and answers basic questions regarding CCDF application status. We do facility complaints for Indiana child care providers. We also have a statewide child care referrals line and a statewide child care referrals line in Spanish. Those are also open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. We have a DMHA Lyft line that's open 24/7. So we're looking at providing rides to and from verified substance use disorder treatments for individuals that do need access to treatment. And then we have a substance use disorder information hotline that's open 24/7, completing an in-depth assessment and providing referrals to SUD treatment centers. And then we have a peer mental health substance use and recovery service line that's open 24/7 that connects Hoosiers with mental health and substance use disorder treatment and recovery supports through certified peer recovery coaches. And that line, again, is for mental health and substance use disorders. Help is available 24/7, 365 at 211. Again, that is through our call navigators, but also our resources that we have available online and through texting. Looking at maintaining a comprehensive database of community resources and providing information referrals for things like food and clothing, shelter, financial assistance, legal resources, domestic violence resources. And then we do have 988 in the state of Indiana that offers a direct connection to a compassionate, accessible care and support from a trained crisis specialist for anyone experiencing thoughts of suicide, mental health crisis, substance use crisis, or emotional distress. They are also available through call, text, or chat. When somebody does call 211, these are the SDOH questions that we ask. So we ask, what is your employment status? What's your current yearly household income? What is the highest level of education you've completed? What is your living situation today? In the past 12 months, has the electric, gas, oil, or water company threatened to shut off services in your home? Within the past 12 months, have you worried that food would run out before you could get more? Do you receive SNAP benefits? In the past 12 months, has a lack of transportation kept you from medical appointments, meetings, or work? Do you currently have health insurance? And does anyone, including your family, ever insult and talk down to you? The importance of these questions is to be able to connect individuals to additional resources that maybe they're not necessarily calling in as the primary resource for that day, especially when it comes to domestic violence, getting individuals SNAP access or additional benefits, or being able to provide individuals transportation referrals. And we also utilize the SDOH questions to look at data across the state as it relates to individual counties. What is our resource curation team and how does it work? So we have 6 database curators that are dedicated to the Indiana 211 resource database. They do full updates of resources on an annual basis. So every resource in our database gets touched at least once a year. That is through phone, email, and we also have a process that will do an annual update link where the agency gets a survey to answer the questions. Partial updates are done throughout the year. So if we see announcements on social media or we receive updates from agencies, we also get information from our navigator team. We do update those resources through partial updates as well throughout the year, but we do make an effort to touch every resource in our database at least once a year. We have 4,403 active agencies as of today, 7,299 sites at 9,563 services that are being provided across the state. And so each of our resource curators not only have to update the agency profile, but they also have to update all of the services and the sites where resources are taking place across the state of Indiana. We do have a community engagement team as well. They analyze the Indiana 211 data. They do community-based presentations. They present at conferences. They table at events. We have also 2 community engagement curators that are researching and curating new resources and collaborating with new agencies to understand Indiana 211. These roles are new within the last year and a half. They have been instrumental in helping to increase the Indiana 211 database, but also being able to help communities understand what their data looks like across the state when it comes to unmet needs and resources. We do have an Indiana 211 data dashboard that you can view to see what the data looks like in your community across the state of Indiana. All you have to do is go to in211.org, click on data, and then click the data dashboard, and that will bring up a dashboard that's interactive for you to click on your county and then see all of the data that is pertinent to your area. We also have several other tools on our website available for community agencies wanting to promote or learn more about Indiana 211. The community engagement tab links to our community events calendar, our Indiana 211 University page, our request a speaker form, and our marketing materials page. Our community events calendar lists free, low-cost, one-time, or short-term events that are not listed in the Indiana 211 database due to not being an ongoing service. The calendar serves 2 purposes. One is so that we can help agencies spread word about their events. And the second is to give our community navigators additional resources to provide callers when their events meet their needs. We list events such as resource, job, and health fairs, diaper, food, and clothing distributions, free haircuts, parenting education classes, immunization clinics, and more. You can search the community calendar by event types, by day, by county, and when you click on an event that you see in the list there, you can see all the necessary details for an event. And agencies can actually add their own events to the calendar by setting up an account. Instructions on how to do that are at the bottom of the calendar page. But if anyone is ever trying to add events and is having difficulty with that process, you can always send events to us via email as well. Indiana 211 University has been a live monthly webinar that we started in the past year. For the first 2 sessions, we went in depth on the Indiana 211 resources and additional tools we have to offer, and those recordings are available on our website for anyone interested in watching those. Moving forward, we've been doing topics, but we have no more sessions scheduled for 2025. In 2026, we are looking at doing in-person sessions across the state. That will be sent out later. You can view all of our previous recordings for Indiana 211 University. It's available at in211.org. And through those sessions, you can find things like suicide prevention, mental health and trauma related sessions, things that could be beneficial in the work that you do. This is what the speaker request form looks like. Any agency that would like to request that we speak to their staff or present or table at an event can complete this form and we will review it and get back to you. So if you're doing multilingual family nights or you have back to school fairs or school supply events or things that you feel like may be beneficial for Indiana 211 to come and connect families to resources, you are free to go ahead and fill out the request a speaker form, and we will review that and get back to you on our attendance. Our marketing materials page, you will find an order form where you can order some of our 211 rack cards, wallet cards, bookmarks, and they are free materials, and we can mail them to you for free as well. This page also has some downloadable materials like our flyer that you can print yourself if you would like, as well as some graphics and flyers that you can use on your social media or print for seasonal resources such as warming and cooling centers or holiday resources. We do tax prep resources as well, but we do go through seasonal processes where we're looking for very specific resources during the spring, summer, and winter months, and you can find the connectors to that on our website. Our community engagement team is available Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 4:30. You can call them at 888-439-6357, or you can email them at in211info@fssa.in.gov, whether that is for marketing materials, wanting to figure out about the community calendar, Indiana 211 University, speaker requests, or maybe you have general questions about data or how Indiana 211 operates. You are free to email them as well for those. I will leave up the community engagement team contact information. But what we do want you to notice throughout the state is that we do have our resources available on our website. And we do have navigators that are available Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. that can answer questions for families, or additionally, if you want to call in and look for additional resources. We have been made aware of the attendance requirements across the state, and schools working with families on getting them connected to resources or things. We do have this resource available for you to be able to use. You can use our website. Our guided search, again, is available 24/7. And then we have texting available as well. So we really wanted to get this resource in your hands for you to not only share with families and students, but also be able to share with your colleagues across the state, because we do think it is important and vital to get individuals connected to resources all across the state of Indiana. If you have any questions, I would be glad to answer those for you now. And we do appreciate you attending today.
So we do not have any questions yet, but if anyone does have a question, go ahead and type those into the Q&A section, please. That's what we will be using for questions rather than having everyone speak.
And this is Jill. And if you have not noticed, I've put several links into the chat, as well as the date and time of another session where we will be discussing this same topic. But this session is being recorded and will be available later today or tomorrow on our YouTube channel. But please share if you feel like there are other people that might benefit from this information.
There is a question about how much time in advance do you need to know to be able to attend a back to school or reading night or math night? We generally will be able to get events approved within a week to 2 week period. Our events are reviewed by our communications team. And so once an event is submitted, it goes to our communications team, and then we have about a week, week and a half that we do get those approvals back.
I will say, though, the more time you can give advance notice, the better.
Seeing no additional questions, if you do have anything that you would like to connect with us about, I would encourage you to email us at in211info@fssa.in.gov. We'll return that email very quickly. We appreciate you attending today and learning more about Indiana 211 and how families and students can utilize our resource, as well as yourself, to get connected to resources across the state. And we wish you the best school year ahead.